Welcome to the Glen Show, where we talk all things vegan. If you're not already vegan, no worries, we'll get you there. If you are, tune in for health advice, information on climate change, and all the damage done by our most destructive industry, animal agriculture. We'll also talk cooking, theater, film, and culture. My 2 reasons for starting this podcast: to entertain, to inform, and to make people vegan. Oh, that's 3. Shit. Welcome to the Glen Mercer Show. You can find us across all your favorite podcast platforms, on YouTube, and at realmeneatplants.com. My special guest today is my good friend, Linda Middlesworth. Linda is a vegan activist, and she is a Food for Life nutrition and cooking instructor for the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Linda, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Glenn. I'm quite honored to be here with you. Now, after all the famous people you interview and now me, this is great.
You are famous in my mind, certainly. Now, tell us, Linda, you have quite a health story yourself. You once had cancer. You were once obese. How long ago was that? What kind of a medical mess were you in?
Quite a big mess. And what's really funny, I thought I was healthy 35 years ago. I was teaching many classes of aerobics besides having a graphic design business. I was teaching 25 classes a week in kickboxing and step and weight training, and I'm a personal trainer as well. And I thought, I'm so healthy. All these classes I teach, my fitness was wonderful, except I was obese.
How obese were you?
I was 55 pounds overweight. I looked like a chunky aerobic instructor. It was sort of embarrassing because with all the classes I was teaching, you would think that I would look like what I was doing.
So you were getting plenty of exercise, right?
Oh, yeah. I've had my aerobics business for 35 years. So exercise has always been part of my life. I've run marathons, half marathons, and I was still fat.
So did you think to yourself, well, I guess I'm just built thick or something then?
Well, I was really upset about it. And I just thought I was doomed.
Did you try all different kinds of diets?
Oh my gosh, I tried Weight Watchers, and I tried starving myself. I tried not eating for like a week on my own, I mean, it was awful, and nothing worked.
For how many years were you obese?
Probably 5 years. I would say, I mean, I wasn't always as heavy. I would go up and down, take off a few pounds and add a few pounds. It was just up and down, and it was very frustrating.
How old were you then?
I was 44 when I was still obese. Yeah. And then I had moved in next door to a new neighbor. As we were walking our dogs around the park, she said, I was telling her about, not only did I have the obesity, but I had severe heart disease.
Severe heart disease?
Oh, yeah. And he wanted me to go on statins. The doctor wanted me to go on statins.
Were you having angina pains? What kind of symptoms?
Some pain. And then I had 350 something cholesterol. And it was severe. And he thought I was going to die, really. But then he said, I think you're cancer. I think you'll die of your heart attack before your cancer. So that's why we got to put you on drugs.
The doctor was racing the cancer against the heart disease and deciding which would kill you first.
Right.
And this is how many years ago?
35 years ago.
35 years ago. It seems that neither of them killed you.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Still here. And so anyway, and then I had not only the obesity and the heart disease, but the cancer too. It was thyroid cancer. And the cancer doctor said, we have to put you under radiation and chemo. I don't know about anybody else, but when you go to the doctor and he tells you you have cancer, that was the most devastating moment of my life. I thought, okay,
Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm dying. I'm dead. And I was crying all the time. It was just awful. But anyway, he said, yeah, chemo and radiation first and then chemo. And if that doesn't work, we're going to remove your thyroid. And I said, oh, really? So I did one chemo and he killed my thyroid, completely killed it. And then after one radiation, my neighbor was telling me as we walked our dogs around the park, she said, oh, you have all that. You don't have to worry about that, Linda. Just get a hold of Dr. John McDougall. I said, who? And she told me about Dr. John McDougall. Well, I didn't even meet the man. I read his book called The 12-Day Program or something like that. I read the book from cover to cover that night. And then I read it again and I read it again because everybody in there got well. All his patients, like he had a young woman who had breast cancer and she had it. She was like maybe 22 and she was a little overweight. Anyway, she went from size 18 to size 4 on the McDougall program. And she was beautiful and she lost her cancer because during the break, because they had chemo and radiated her so much that her body couldn't take it over a year. And so they said, we have to give you a break now because your body's too ravaged. We'll come back to this in September. Well, during that break is when she accidentally found Dr. John McDougall. And you showed the pictures of her size changing over all that time. It was amazing. And then I thought, okay, that's it. I'm doing this. Whatever he's doing, I'm doing. And I went back to my doctor and he said, nope, no more radiation, no more chemo, not taking it out. Of course, I didn't know he had killed the whole thing anyway, but he did. So, and they said, you're going to be sorry, Linda. I said, too bad. I'm not doing this again. By the way, I know what that feels like. Radiation. It makes you sick. It's horrible.
And you did one treatment.
And I only did one. And it was so awful. I don't ever want to go back. And I understand now when people tell me that they're doing that. It's a big business, you guys. Radiation and chemo is part of the big business for hospitals and doctors to make money. They don't mean to be mean to you, but that's what they're told to do. They don't try to be unethical, but that's what they have to do to get the hospital and keep their job.
All right, I'm going to insert a little disclaimer here that neither Linda nor I are doctors, and everyone could make their own health decisions and talk to their doctors, but Linda's giving her opinion.
That's my opinion, and I happen to know it worked. But anyway, so I had pre-diabetes too. I was eating all the wrong food. I didn't know. I thought diabetes was caused by sugar. And carbohydrates. I didn't know that. So I stopped eating sugar and carbohydrates. And now, of course, I know differently, but at the time, that's what I did. Until I met Dr. John McDougall and I realized starch was our energy source. We're supposed to eat starch of peas and beans and grains and lentils and potatoes and even pasta, So, I mean, it was just the most wonderful thing I ever heard that we could eat carbs and get healthy. So we ate the right carbs, not processed food, but whole carbs, unprocessed, but it really works. So yeah, no, but the real funny thing is when I went to my own doctor later, not the one I was talking to about the cancer, but anyway, I went to see him. No, here's what happened. I went to my doctor who I was trying to get on a vegan diet, but he was still eating fish.
Whoa. You were trying to get your doctor to go vegan. Well,
yeah.
Now give us the backstory there, because usually the doctor's telling you what to do.
I know. So I ended up only going to the doctor when I wanted to help him. I didn't go to the doctor for me anymore.
You would wake up in the morning and say, I think my doctor needs help. I'll schedule an appointment.
I'm still working on him. He's Asian descent, so he thought fish was the name of the game.
So you still today are working on your doctor?
No, here's what happened to that doctor. So I had an earache one day, and my doctor, the fish one, he wasn't there that day. So I had to go to a new doctor to see about my earache. And so he's looking in my ear, and I forgot that I had my earrings on that said vegan. I didn't remember I had those on. And as he's looking in my ear, and he goes, I am too. And I said, you're what? He said, I am too. I said, you're what? It says vegan on your earring. I said, oh, you're vegan? My doctor's vegan? And he said, well, I'm not your doctor, but will you be my patient? And I said, well, I'm really working on my doctor still. He said, please. I said, okay. So I came over to him, and my other doctor, I don't know what happened to him with the fish. I hope he's okay.
Now, the
But
guy who said, I'm not your doctor, but will you be my patient?
mhm.
What was he doing looking at your ear if he wasn't your doctor?
Because my fish doctor was on not there
Oh,
that
he was covering for you. Okay.
was
So
covering for that doctor.
at least he had a medical degree. He wasn't just a guy in the
No, he's a
waiting room looking at your ear.
no, but you know
Okay.
what's really sad
Yeah.
is that over the last 35 years, I've asked him, have you told any of the other doctors about this? And he said, no.
So he's scared to tell his
He's afraid to
colleagues.
talk about it. He doesn't want
He's
to
a
lose
very
his job.
shy vegan.
A shy vegan. And I said, do you tell your patients? And he said, sometimes, but not too often. But he just told me last time I talked to him, because I make sure he's okay too. He said, I have a few other patients now who are vegan. Good for you. That's
All right.
great. So
All
anyway,
right. So
that's how
you
that
go
happened.
for a walk with your neighbor, and your neighbor tells you to look up Dr. McDougall. For the few people listening who might not know, Dr. McDougall is a pioneer in the vegan movement, but he doesn't usually say vegan. He usually says starchivore. Dr. McDougall's emphasis is on eating starch, which is foods like potatoes and corn and rice and whole grains. And that is the proper fuel for the human body around which to base a diet. If you just go vegan and you say, oh, I'm going to eat a lot of vegetables, and you go home and you have parsley and watercress, you're going to be hungry. So you have to base your diet around starchy foods, legumes, potatoes, corn, rice, whole grains. So that is Dr. McDougall's emphasis, and he has helped countless thousands of people
Thousands.
over the years to lose weight and to get healthy, and Linda is one of them.
Yeah.
But you initially just read his book and you went on a Whole
I
Foods.
never even met the man. I just read the book, believed it, did it.
So how quickly did you get results?
Very quickly. Within 3 weeks, I was starting to lose. I was losing about 5 pounds a week in the beginning.
Okay.
And so I took it all off very quickly. And the best news is my cancer never came back. And my prediabetes went away.
Mhm.
And what I learned was from Dr. McDougall that the potato was really one of those, there's starches and there's starches. Potato is one of those really highly nutritious ingredients. I never knew that. I found out that I eat rice and beans too, but I mean, potatoes just have so much nutrition. In fact, he even told me one time that I could probably eat potatoes all day long and eat a little bit of broccoli and my B12, and I'd be set for life if I eat that every day the rest of my life. So as it is now, I do eat about 10 to 12 potatoes a day because I love them so much.
10 to 12 potatoes
Well,
a day?
not the big one, but the
Little ones. Wow.
but I still eat 10 to 12 of those.
Wow.
Because I eat them every meal, even for
And
breakfast.
do you steam them, bake them?
Oh
What do you do?
no! Did you know that the microwave is one of the superior ways to cook vegetables, according to Dr.
I
Greger?
I
Because you just
didn't know
heat
that.
them.
I don't
You
usually
didn't
nuke
know that?
anything.
Yeah, you
No.
look up Dr. Greger, he will tell you that it heats up the water. So it's one of the inside the vegetable. So it's a superior way to cook veggies. In fact, I have these Pampered Chef microwave steamers, which you chop up your veggies, put them in there. You don't have to stir it over the stove. You just put it in your microwave, and I got all my veggies done in 10 minutes.
See, I've
And
always been afraid of the microwave.
no, look up
No?
Dr. Greger. It's better than boiling even, because you leach some of the stuff out of your potatoes when you do that. So you want to, or steaming is better than steaming. So yes, you want to learn the microwave. All my clients use microwave a lot because it's so convenient and easy. And don't put your head in it. Yeah, no, but put your
Oh,
vegetables.
so I shouldn't put my head in the microwave. That's what I've been doing wrong? Is that your
Yeah, don't
point?
do that. Yeah, leave that
Okay.
out.
All right. So
But
you see, that's why I was afraid of it. I kept
yeah,
putting my
you
head in it
can't
with the
put your head
potatoes.
in there. No,
No,
we have
okay.
these
You
wonderful.
know, it's insights like this that make people listen to the Glenn Mercer show. Do not put your head in the microwave.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't recommend.
So I usually steam my potatoes,
That's fine, but this is
sometimes bake
superior.
them.
This is a little superior.
Okay, if you say so.
Well, look
Um,
up Dr. Greer. And
okay.
I just heard another doctor interview on the same thing, said the same thing. Dr. Willis, I think his name was. He said the same thing about Dr. Greger said. So it's a big
Okay.
myth that's been floating around, kind of like people don't get enough protein on a vegan diet. Same
Right.
kind of myth to be
Okay.
afraid of the microwave. So
No reason to be afraid of the microwave.
mhm.
Okay, if you say so. Uh, and so you eat a dozen potatoes a day, and that's kind of the staple around which you make your diet. Um, so you were losing about 5 pounds a week. How long did it take you to
Five.
lose
Well, it was
55?
about it was about 6 months when I had it all gone.
Wow. So
Hmm.
in 6 months, the cancer was gone, the
Heart
prediabetes,
disease was gone.
and the heart disease was gone. What did your cholesterol go down to?
150.
Okay. So your cholesterol got cut in half or more.
Yep.
So, it's just so amazing that it's so easy. All people have to do is eat human food. Maybe not everyone's going to get the amazing results you got as quickly as you got it, but so many people get better when they just eat human food, and yet so many doctors don't even know this.
No, it's really
It's
is
just
very good.
astonishing, isn't it? The
It is.
level of
It is.
ignorance
It
in
is.
the medical community, that they don't teach this in medical school, that so many doctors don't even know this. They wouldn't believe this if they were listening right now. They
Yeah.
would they would say it was a fluke, that
Yeah.
really what cured your cancer was the radiation, the one treatment,
Yeah. The one
and
radiation.
and
Yeah.
you lost weight because you were thinking good thoughts, and 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 they just refuse to believe the obvious.
I know it is so sad because, um, like my doctor I had before last, he was the guy still eating fish. People have no idea. A couple of things about fish. It's saturated fat and cholesterol you're adding to your body,
And
and
mercury.
and mercury, and there's a lot of toxins in there. People say I only fresh fish. I don't eat the kind that's farm raised or something. Well, that won't make any difference anyway. It won't make any difference. And
They've also done studies. Consumer Reports has done studies when people go into the grocery store and they think they're getting, salmon, and it was wild caught salmon, and it turns out it was farmed haddock or something.
they
They
actually
don't know what they're getting.
and they put something on it to make it pinker,
Yeah, yeah, they
because
they
otherwise
pink
it
it
would be
up.
kind of grayish, and
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to pick it up.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really horrible. The lies that we're being told in every field, from medical field, the doctors not knowing, to any part, even the climate change part, that the transportation is the most important thing. Oh, nobody ever talks about the food system we have that's causing methane gas and greenhouse gases bigger than anything to do with
I think
transportation.
I wrote a book about that.
Yeah.
That's my book.
Well, I
Food. Oh,
have it
there
here,
it
but
is.
it's the
Food.
wrong one. It's food is
Okay.
climate.
Food
It's
is climate.
climate.
That's the book.
And
Yeah.
Glenn, my good friend Philip Woolen, who's one of the
Yes.
leaders in our whole plant movement. If you've
He
not,
wrote the preface
he
he wrote
did.
the foreword to that book.
He
Yeah.
did. And I want to read something, one sentence that I want everybody to know because
Okay.
it's something has to hit home. If you never knew this before, I need you to know it now. Philip wrote this in the foreword to your great book called Food is Climate. I recommend it because you finally will understand how our food system is the reason for climate change. And as you can see what's happening in Maui and everywhere else, we need to stop eating animals and using animals. Anyway, it says human beings comprise 30% of the biomass of land animals. Slaughterhouse animals take up 60% of our land mass. Are we doing, Glenn?
Yeah, well, that's the perspective that we need to have. We need to imagine the earth as it was,
Yeah.
right? And if you imagine the earth as it was, with all kinds of mammals roaming around, you would have had all kinds of wild mammals having a great share of the earth's biomass. But what we have now is humans who are there are 8 billion of us. So we are a significant share of the mammalian biomass. And then cows and pigs, the ones because we eat them. And all the other ones, if we're not eating them, we're destroying their habitat. And so there are fewer and fewer and fewer of them. So, the world is, in terms of the fauna in the world, it's becoming humans and cows and pigs and chickens, and that's that's what's left of the animals. It's us and the animals we eat. That's not normal. That's not natural, and it's destroying the planet. So same thing with land use. Half the land of the United States is for animal agriculture. 40% of the land surface of the world is grazed. So what we've done with the earth is we've removed the forests and we've created grazing land for the animals that we eat. And so our stupid diet of eating the wrong food is destroying the planet. And then the planet starts to melt because of all the carbon dioxide and methane that we're putting in the atmosphere from our diet, much more than from burning fossil fuels. And because of our diet, we're destroying the planet and then all life on Earth. So that's a pretty foolish mistake, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I thank you so much for writing the book Food is Climate and Own Your Health and America Goes Vegan, because in all three books you will see how to help yourself and or others get onto the plant diet and stay there. It's delicious. And the other thing that makes me happier than anything else on earth is I don't contribute to all that suffering of animals. People tell me, oh, I love animals, and they're eating a hamburger, a cheeseburger. I mean, that is like so cruel. The hamburger comes from a mother cow that couldn't produce any more milk when she was 4 years old. She could normally live 20 years longer, but she's killed at 4 years old because she can't produce enough milk for us in the most painful fashion ever. They take her baby away from her at birth. If it's a boy, he gets tied up in a little shed and can't move, because if he moves, his meat will turn gray and want that pink meat. And the baby girl has to do the whole process of being milked in this miserable condition and then die at 4 years old. When they die, they become your hamburger. So if you eating hamburgers, you're causing that cruelty. And if you've ever seen, which I have seen, a mother cow chasing after her baby when they took it away at birth, you will be never eating dairy again. How would you like to be a mother and somebody came and took your baby off your breast and said, nope, that's for me. You can't have it, baby.
Well, it's just amazing to me that people think of dairy as natural human food when no other mammal would be foolish enough to drink the mammary secretions of other mammals and do it into adulthood. It's just on its face ridiculous.
Oh, just think of
And
it this way, Glenn. say you're on a walk or a hike and you got thirsty and say, oh, gee, hey, Jim, I really want a milkshake. Okay. Wait a minute. There's some cows over there. We jump the fence and we go over and start sucking on their tit. I said, hey, do you want any chocolate cocoa powder I could add to this? I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's
Can you
astonishing,
imagine a
isn't it?
man in his business suit sucking from a cow tit?
And what it proves is that culture is so extraordinarily powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Culture, these are our culinary traditions. I love people in my family who eat this way, and they celebrate it, and they think it's delicious, and they think it's natural, and they remember eating this way with their parents and grandparents who may no longer be with them. And so it has deep memory and resonance for them, these
Cultural
foods
norm.
that are killing them. And they get fat and sick, and then they go to the
Getting cancer
doctor,
and
and the
heart disease
doctor
like
says,
I
oh,
did.
we
Yeah.
we got a pill for that and a operation for that, and they never put it together.
Nope.
And this is, if they were only killing themselves, that would be a tragedy. What it is now apocalyptic because it's destroying the earth. Canada is on fire. Now, there
Yep.
are other reasons too, because Canada has chopped down its old growth forest,
Mm-hmm.
which was more climate resilient than what it was replaced by. There are all kinds of factors, but certainly animal agriculture is the leading cause of climate change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fishing, people, they think fish are cold, unfeeling things, and they have families and they feel pain just like a dog would or you would. And people think of them as cold, slimy things. And so they don't think of them as anything but food.
The other thing is, do people just imagine that there's an infinite number of fish in the sea and we could just keep extracting all the life from the sea and it'll be fine? I mean, you would think that even if you believed in eating fish, you would say, hey, let's take a pause.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's let the ocean restore itself.
No,
But
fish and chicken too are considered the health.
so as you got healthy, you began to spread the message by becoming a health coach. Is that
Yeah.
right?
A vegan mentor. I started my vegan mentor business, and became I put on group and individual coaching every month, and I have
Okay.
clients who get well all the time.
And where do they find you online?
At my website, veganmentor.com.
VeganMentor.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell us about VDog.
Oh, VDog, my late husband and I started in 2005, when we found out by doing research that dogs could survive on a plant diet. And when we once we were both animal rights activists, and he said, this would be wonderful. All these animals don't have to be harmed for dog food. And almost everybody has a dog. So let's do this. So we did all the research, got the science facts together, and then started VDog. We put things in it like L-carnitine, the vegan version, and taurine, the vegan version, which dogs need in our dog food. And then we added other things like we have a new canned wet food, and we have kibble, and we have cookies for dogs. And we have these breath bones, like these little greenies, like the ones you buy in the store that aren't vegan. Ours are vegan. This is good for their teeth. So anyway, our dogs are thriving since 2005. In fact, a scientist just put on a new, we had nothing to do with it, but these scientists did a study on our dog food for a year, and it came out with stellar results as
Hey,
far
congratulations.
as getting dogs healthy.
Okay.
So I'm real proud to send that scientific study to anybody now who would like to see it. And we have so many dogs that are thriving. They even get rid of some of the allergies they have and different
Now,
things.
do you recommend that the dogs put the VDog in the microwave?
No,
No.
we don't
Okay.
need it. Not
Okay.
necessary.
All
Don't
right.
have to be cooked.
And now your son Darren is running the company now, right?
Yeah, and my late husband died in 9 years ago, and thank goodness my son was helping us a little bit. But once he died, it was going to die too when he died, because I there's no way I could run that company. But my son is doing a stellar job running the company, and then he also opened it up to the rest of the world. So we have, I don't know, 8 or 9 countries we're in now, but we had to change the name because my dear late husband made a mistake before he died. He told somebody in England who called and said, "Oh, I like your name, v-dog.com." and can we use your name? And my late husband said, "Oh, sure, go ahead." I guess he never thought we were going to Europe or anywhere. And so we had to change the name outside the United States.
What's the company's name internationally?
The outside of USA name is v-planet.com.
v-planet.com, but in the
Yeah.
US it's v-dog.com. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. And so
Okay.
if you want to know more about it, you can look up the VDog website or write to support@vdog.com, and they will answer all your questions. Why dogs can be vegan? Yes, they can be vegan. And because we know that now, since 2005, our dogs are thriving.
Now, do you find that when dogs go vegan, do most of them do it for their health or the environment or for the animals?
Well, we couldn't do it if they didn't like it. So
Okay.
they like it a lot.
So they do it for the taste.
Yeah, they do it for the taste. Yeah.
Okay.
They like
I was always wondering why dogs go vegan. So it's for the taste. Okay. Now, let's take a brief commercial break, and we'll be right back with the great Linda Middlesworth.
All right, if you've ever wanted to show off your plant-based lifestyle and do it in style, here's your chance. We have some of the most amazing t-shirts, hats, accessories, coffee mugs, and more at shop.realmeneatplants.com. We have statement t-shirts that will bring a smile to everyone's face. I love the I want tofu tonight tee. Plus, we have podcast tees, Real Women Eat Plants gear, Real Kids Eat Plants, and Real People Eat Plants, just in case men, women, and kids didn't cover it all. Yeah, we love you and love that you want to show off that healthy lifestyle of yours. Again, check out our high-quality gear at shop.realmeneatplants.com and enjoy.
And we're back with Linda Middlesworth. Linda, you've got your story on the screen here.
You ready to see it?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us what we're looking at.
Well, on the left is my fatty picture. I don't have too many because I destroyed most of them. I was so embarrassed with myself. But that was when I was 55 pounds heavier.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me. The middle picture is about 3 years old, to be honest.
And didn't you win an award for something like sexiest vegan in the world?
No, sexiest vegan over 50 for my PETA award. Yeah. My PETA award. Yeah, that was a long time ago. And then the picture on the right is recent. I teach aerobics in that gym right there. That's my gym room. I spend a lot of time in that gym room. I'm the oldest instructor. We have about 10 gyms, and I'm the oldest instructor there. And I've been teaching for like 30 years, so I love it. And this is me when, after I had met, this is when I had Dr. John McDougall as a speaker, after I had lost all the weight, because I had almost over 50 pounds, probably closer to 55 pounds overweight. And that was 35 years ago, because somebody told me about Dr. John McDougall. And I had told my neighbor about how sick I was. And she said, "Oh, just go to Dr. John McDougall." And I did. And look what happened to me. I got well. I lost my cancer, my heart disease, my prediabetes, and my obesity, all from meeting Dr. John McDougall and going on a starch diet, a starch-based diet. And this is the book that I use today, The Starch Solution, with all my clients I coach. And it helps people know that you can, yes, have potatoes and lose weight. That's how I lost my weight. I ate about almost 12 potatoes a day. And then the other book for the ethical part of it was also John Robbins, who I adore because he, told about not only the diet, but how I could save my life and the world and the animals too. And then I started my own business. I think that was 2008, Sacramento Vegan Society. I mean, it was a social group. I'm sorry.
How many members of the Sacramento?
We have 5,300 members in our group today.
Wow.
And it's growing every day. I get 5 or 6 new members. So it's just growing regularly. It's wonderful. And we put on dine outs, and I put on events like I have speaker events. Like I have Dr. John McDougall, Dr. T. Colin Campbell, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Dr. Clapper, Dr. Columbus Batiste. All the big doctors in our field have been my speaker many times. In fact, Dr. T. Colin Campbell just invited me to be on the board of the Center for Nutritional Studies, which is a big honor for me. I'm one of the few non-doctors on the board, and I'm just really, really, really proud and honored to be a member of that because I adore that man. He's one of the leaders in our field. He and Dr. Esselstyn are the older guys that started all this and really have helped people get well. And then I started, this is my Sacramento Vegan Society. I table at local events for that. I'm going to go to the Sonoma Veg Fest next month with that table. And I started my own business, VeganMentor. And this is where I coach individually and group coaching every month. And we have a Zoom call that we do once a week together. It's really fun. So we have kind of a little support group. I only have 10 members at once on my group coaching because I like to have it more intimate. And we can tell our struggles and, oh my God, I just can't get rid of cheese. What am I going to do? And we talk about it. So it's really wonderful. I help people lose weight all the time. Like Margie, she lost 80 pounds with me. And then after me, she went on to lose up to 130 pounds. And she was featured in Women's World too. So this is a funny story about Margie. She and her diabetic sister came to my aerobics class. That's how I met her. And after class, she told me, Linda, I really need to lose weight. And I said, what? I told her, hey, Margie, thank you for coming. And I want you here because you need to be fit and strong, but you're not going to lose the weight in my class. It's the food. You've got to change the food. And I said, why don't you come, since your sister has diabetes, do one diabetes class with me. I told her what to do. She did it. Her sister did it. Her sister had diabetes for 27 years, and I got rid of it. Wow. She was no longer on metformin for the last 10 years now. And she lost weight too. Now, Margie needed to lose more weight, as you can see. And she's a friend today and a wonderful human being. And so she did it by going on the McDougall program with me. See? Dr. Neil Bernard, I became a Food for Life instructor so I could teach diabetes and cancer classes, which I really love doing for him. I teach at the local colleges around here. I teach how to prevent and reverse diabetes. I teach a sex state. I'm teaching next month, that one, and how to reverse and how to survive cancer and which foods help you fight cancer. So I love teaching those classes. They're so much fun. We always do a food demo. You always see a video from Dr. Neil Bernard each class as well, talking about the foods we eat and how important they are and what we should be eating. And also we give out a cookbook. This is my business card as a Food for Life instructor. And then this is the cancer program, the beginning picture of the cancer program that I teach for Dr. Neil Bernard. And this is the book we use for the Cancer Survivor's Guide. This is me giving a cooking demo for the cancer and or diabetes classes. We have different recipes we use for those. And this is my granddaughter who I love dearly, but she's on the keto diet at age 22, which is highly dangerous. Dr. McDougall said it's like getting sick to get skinny. And yes, you can lose weight, but it's not a healthy way to do it. She's harming her kidneys every day. Unfortunately, I can't say a thing about it. And this is how we should be treating animals. We shouldn't be killing them. We should be loving them and teaching our children this. This is the way we treat animals. People tell me they love animals and they're eating eggs and bacon. No. And this is chickens have feelings too, just like you do. Animals see them as someone, not something. Live your truth, find your purpose like I have. My purpose in life is to help people eat a plant exclusive diet and not wear them or use them in their entertainment or for any other purpose.
All right, Linda is going to make a dish for us now. Linda, what are you going to make?
I'm going to make Tracy Child. My friend Tracy Child did the recipes in this book, America Goes Vegan, and the recipes are fabulous. And one of my favorite ones is the way she makes nice cream. No, you don't have to buy dairy ice cream. You can make nice cream. Doesn't hurt anybody, and it makes you feel great, and it tastes great. So I'm going to show you how I make that. It's
all right. What's this nice cream recipe called?
It's called Vanilla Spice Nice Cream.
Vanilla Spice Nice Cream.
Yes, and it's so good. So I need the frozen bananas, Jim, over there. So we start with just a regular banana.
A regular banana.
A regular ripe banana. This is a nice ripe banana.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in my food processor. And so if you have not enough frozen bananas, you could use one ripe banana and your frozen bananas, which I'm going to put, it's about 2 bananas I froze in here. I'm putting in my Vitamix because that's where we make our nice cream. And then to that, I'm adding a tablespoon of hemp hearts. Tablespoon of hemp hearts, which I've never done before, but it really is a nice addition. And
it's
they're
a
healthy.
Source of omega-3s.
A source of omega-3s. Yep. And now, to make it really interesting, I've never thought to do this. I'm using pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful flavor that is. I'm using about a half a teaspoon here.
Okay.
And that's all. Well, yeah, I have to use my vanilla. Now you can buy regular vanilla, this liquid, but I like buying the raw vanilla bean powder.
Right.
So that's what I use.
That's what Chef AJ likes to use.
Yeah, she's the one that told me about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there we have it. Now all we have to do is mix this baby up. So simple. Turn on the Vitamix. It's gonna make a little bit of noise. So easy. Now I'm gonna pour it in this little bowl.
And there you go. You've got a nice cream dessert.
You have ice cream. I'm going to put it in the freezer and let it chill up a little bit. And it's absolutely fabulous.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Nice cream is better than ice cream.
Absolutely. My partner, Jim, said it's the best one he's ever tasted. And that's better than the chocolate one I'm making. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. To eat, you don't have to eat ice cream. You don't have to have sugar. You don't have to have dairy. You sweeten it with bananas, frozen bananas, and you add whatever flavors you want. And it's a healthy and delicious dessert, and it tastes better than I haven't had what they call real ice cream in many decades, but it tastes better than I remember that. And Absolutely. It's in the book. That looks like a good book you've got there. America Goes Vegan.
Goodness, I love this book and Tracy's recipes too. But I want to tell you one more thing about this book. There's another thing I make in here all the time, which is called the Purple Plant Burger. I'm telling you, it is so good. It makes a bunch of burgers and I freeze them so I have them all week long. But it is made with like eggplant and, as eggplant and rice and other things. But eggplant, I found out, is one of the most nutritious items we can be eating because our vegetables, because it helps with your bone health, your autoimmune system. It builds your immune system. And it's good for calcium and all kinds of things. So eggplant is now a regular part of our diet because I found out so much about it. But I get to eat it in my burgers now. No, you don't have to kill a cow to eat a burger. And there's several different kinds of burger recipes in here, but this is my favorite, the purple.
Well, I'm very proud of that because that's one of the few recipes in the book that I helped create, the purple plant burger.
Yeah.
And, you know, the idea behind it is that Americans apparently have trouble eating 5 to 7 fruits and vegetables a day. You can get more than 7 vegetables, plant foods in that burger. You can just add more and more to them, and then you're eating them in the form of a burger.
In fact, I'm going to be doing a demo at the Sacramento Vegan Food Festival next month. And my food demo is to make the purple burger because, you know,
that's great.
Burgers are what they have to have all the time. They go into McDonald's and order it. Well, once you make these, you freeze them and then you can have them all week long. So handy.
Yeah.
And so I'm demoing this burger at my talk at the Sacramento Vegan Food Festival. So.
I am very proud. Linda, thank you for joining us today. You've got a great story to tell, and bless you for keeping on telling it.
Very honored to be here.
You can find Linda at VeganMentor.com. And please subscribe to the Glen Mercer Show. Thank you. See you soon. This has been the Glen Mercer Show, where everyone listening turns vegan, regains their health, and annoys their friends and relatives. Find us on YouTube at the Glen Mercer Show and across all your major podcast platforms. Don't forget to subscribe.